Hi, this is Carrie with the Active Self-Protection Extra channel, and today I have a special guest. I have Miss Steph with me today. This is my boss. She's amazing. And we are at some training here in Arizona, and we thought that it'd be a great time to talk to you a little bit about some of the things that we've been learning this week at training. So we'll do that when we come back.
Henry Holsters is one of the few holster makers I trust to make a quality appendix carry holster that meets all the requirements of a holster. Check them out at a link in the description.
All right, welcome back. So, Miss Steph, like I said, we're at a class this week with Mr. Brian Willis.
Yes, yes.
He has Winning Mind training.
Winning Mind training, yep. And we did. It's a two-part training. We did a Dare to be Great leadership workshop, and then right now we're doing performance enhancement imagery, and there's just been all kinds of gold nuggets that we've been going over. So we just thought we'd talk about a few of those.
Yeah.
What gold nugget we want to start with?
I was thinking, so one of the things we get asked a lot is how can I be confident with my gun, or how can I be confident as an instructor, or how can I be confident as a self-protector?
Right.
And Mr. Brian shared some great stuff with us on that.
Yeah, I mean, this is something we've talked about forever too, and it's not unique to us, but the idea that confidence comes from competence.
Yes.
And so as you become competent, then you become confident. But they added a piece this week that I really appreciated, and that was because competence comes from experience.
Yes.
The very first thing that has to happen is courage, because you have to get out and you have to try these things that you've never done before. You have to have these experiences. You have to struggle. You have to strive. You have to do all of these things in order to get some level of competence that you can then be confident. And I think that's one thing I love about traveling around the country and seeing people train, because those are the very small percentage of people that, rather than sitting at home on the couch and believing that they could do that, or telling others that I can accomplish this specific skill, that they're out actually finding out if they can. And if they are able to, great, and we need to raise that bar a little bit more and strive and struggle a little bit more. And if they're not, that's all right. What can we do? That level of courage I find super inspiring, and I love being around it. I don't know, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I appreciated that. I want to talk more about courage and the importance of courage, because I don't talk about, I do tell students, I'm so thankful you're here, and I'm proud of you for taking this step, just showing up. You're great about saying that. You explain that. Just showing up means so much, and you've done so much for yourself just by showing up. But that courage piece, I love, because we are asking people to step out in courage and try something. And knowing that we do want to be confident, but that confidence isn't going to happen. At least it's not going to be appropriate confidence. It's going to be misplaced confidence unless we truly are competent. And then how do we know if we're competent? That's another thing I feel like I want to do a better job about helping my learners define that for themselves. What is competence? What does that look like? And then how do we develop confidence in that?
And we know confidence can be such a key piece of helping you in a self-defense encounter, because very often when people are looking for victims, signs of you being confident can really help mitigate your risk in that arena. So sometimes even just becoming highly competent in a skill of self-defense could get you deselected to where you never have to find out. But there's nothing quite like, standing on that range and you, like we were saying, you could pretend you know what's going to happen, but the holes in the paper at the end of the day aren't going to lie. So the courage to face those holes and to know what that means. Either I'm competent or I'm still struggling a little bit, but either way takes a great amount of courage, and the courage and ability to do hard things continues to breed that idea that I can do hard things.
And I think one of the important things, I wish I would have known this when I first started teaching this in this arena, and when I first entered this just as a learner too. I wish I would have understood how easy it is with excellent training to be able to develop that competence quite quickly. In September and October, we've done a fair amount of teaching, and we had folks coming into like the national conference, for example, the folks that we had in Secret Sub-Second Draw there. We had some folks that had never drawn their gun from a holster before, and I think out of the 22 people, we had 11 of them that were 11 or 7, I forget now. I know that's a big difference. I think it's 11 of them were below sub-second. That's what it was. All of them were 1.5 seconds or below, and that's draw to first hit. That's an anatomically relevant hit. That's just after 3.5 to 4 hours worth of work.
Right.
And that, I think, is pretty impressive. That's not a testament to our teaching. It's
Right.
a testament to the students and their willingness to work and
Right.
their willingness to struggle through things.
Right,
Which is
right.
one of the things that, there was a great quote that our instructor shared, Mr. Bryan
Right.
shared, and it was from Andrew Huberman, and it was no friction, no struggle, no learning.
Right, and you coming from your educational background, of course, know a lot about the importance of the learning is literally in the struggle. It's not like the idea that, well, we just fail, therefore we learn something. It's that actual effort and struggle that really helps cement that knowledge, and we really want that knowledge cemented in the chance that you're in a defensive encounter.
And working through it. And
Right.
you know, it's really easy. I used to do this all the time. I did it with my kids too, and I did it when I used to teach junior high and high school. But I would often give my learners the answer rather than helping them ask questions that helped them get to their own answer.
Yes.
And it's so much more effective than when they find the answer for themselves. And you know, I've yet to have, now that I've been more intentional about doing that, the older I've gotten, I've yet to have a student that has not been able to find their way to the answer.
Yeah.
And we know that students learn better when they're getting answers to their own questions.
Right.
So it's great for them to struggle.
Right.
And begin asking questions.
Right. In all of our learning, that's what we're doing, is seeking to answer our own questions. So if we don't have questions, or if someone just gives us that answer, we're not learning. So yeah, I love that quote, that you really have to struggle to really learn and grow.
I wish I had my Advanced Force Science book with me here, because
I
I'd
know.
pull out the quote from Dr. Lewinsky, because 3, maybe 4 weeks ago now, he said that exact thing. He said, your students have to have questions
Right.
that the training that you're offering answers, or it's not going to get them anywhere they need to be.
Yes. We're all looking for answers to our own questions, or you could probably define them as problems.
Yes,
You know, like
yes.
if my problem is how I can effectively define myself, then my instructor better be answering those questions. So
Yeah, and helping me get the answers to
Right,
them.
right,
Exactly.
right.
Absolutely. That's good stuff. So courage, and then we have competence follows courage, and then confidence follows that competence.
Yep. And we all want to be confident and competent and courageous
Absolutely.
self-defenders and forever students, because the importance of learning and growing is so important.
Yeah, all throughout life, which is good stuff. Well, maybe tomorrow we'll film another one of these talks during the lunch hour, and we can share some more of what we've been learning this week. So thanks for joining me for this.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here, and we'll see you next week.